Hi, you have landed at Gather Love Thrive with me, Danea Shanti. Welcome to the show. My guest today is Ashley Sinclair. You might remember that she interviewed me the first show, so today we turn the tables on her. Before we dive in, I want to invite you to give some love to New Thought Media Network. Because of them, we get to be here with you. So the donation link for them is rolling across the screen right now, and we're going to dive right in. So welcome, Ashley Sinclair of Ashley Sinclair Productions.
Thank you, Danea. A pleasure to be here with you today.
Yes. Let's see if we can get through this without laughing the whole entire time, because we tend to do that. Okay, so we're gonna try and be good. So my first question for you is, there's a terminology that we've been using called God Spark. And I wanted to throw that terminology out to you to see, what does that mean to you when you think of God Spark? What does that mean to you?
Great question.
Yeah.
For me, it means, I could say it a couple of different ways.
Okay.
This immediate spark of energy, spark of what I would call a download, spark of a knowing all of a sudden, seemingly out of nowhere, where it has this reaction in me of lightness, creativity, and excitement.
Yes. Yeah. God spark it is one of my favorite phrases, right? It's like, yeah, God spark it. Okay, so I'm curious. I love that. I like to ask people this question. I love your response and your relationship to those words. I'm curious about a time in your life where you felt that happening. Like you just knew the universe was for you. You knew someone had your back, so to speak. Someone who's not in a body, if I could put it that way, the God spark energy. Can you share a moment that happened for you in your life where you felt like, yeah, the universe is on my side?
Yeah, two actually.
Great.
Come on. One was, it was a gorgeous April morning, and I was sitting out on my deck, and I was doing one-on-one coaching then, and starting to ruminate about creating a half-day workshop. And I heard, go bigger.
Nice.
And I knew what that meant. What that meant was, take my stories, my personal stories of my healing and transformation that I've been sharing with friends for decades, some of them, and take those and go bigger with it.
Yeah.
And my response was simultaneous excitement.
Yeah.
And then that inhalation where you stop. A little bit of fear.
Yes. Why? Just so I want to insert. Why fear? I love this because
because it was inviting me to stand on a bigger stage. And so I was with the, and then right behind that came, but the pain of not listening to this. It felt bigger to me than this little bit of fear in this moment. And so I said yes.
Yeah. You felt the universe give you the inspiration to say, go bigger. And then you felt your personality be like, yikes. And then you rested in the energy that brought it in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay. You said you had two examples.
Yes.
So give me the second.
And so what that meant was I performed a one-woman show. And let's just say I will be continuing to do that.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it.
Oh, I can't wait till it's coming this year. It's coming this year. The second one was very different tone to it. I just ended a 9-year relationship, and I was looking forward to being creative and coming. This is a different time frame, but being creative and starting to teach workshops again and writing. And because, I've got the whole house now.
Yeah.
And, it was a great relationship, but it was just time for it to end. So was anticipating feeling all this, creativity and inspiration to really come online. And what I got one morning, I was vacuuming the house, kind of a mundane thing.
Yeah.
Right? You don't expect you have these visions of when you're meditating and sitting in nature. No, it was when I was vacuuming.
And sometimes when you're in the refreshment room or the, bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, a lot there, actually.
I've been spoken to in the bathroom.
Oh, my goodness. Go ahead. I was vacuuming and I heard, go to Florida. And I went, my family's lived in Florida at the time. I was like, no, it's not time to go to Florida. I'm stepping out. I'm creating. And about an hour later, because I said no, can't be right, not now. About an hour later, it said it again. I was like, oh, this is peculiar. Usually, those things come once. Right? And usually they can be very, very soft and quiet. Right? It said, go to Florida. That's all it said. No, I'm not going to Florida. I'm not going to Florida. And it said it a third time.
Yeah.
And at that point I stopped literally and went and started contemplating that.
Yeah.
And went, okay, go to Florida. Okay, well, I've lived in Colorado for a couple of decades. I've had 2 long, loving and intense relationships. And then a lot's happened here. And I start crying. And I went, oh, okay. Yeah, my system needs a break.
Yes.
Now, my tears always have so much wisdom.
Yeah.
I pay attention to my tears.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they show me something that wants to be healed and it's ready, or it shows me beauty and love.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I just went, okay. And that afternoon, I got online, bought my ticket. Yeah. Went to Florida. Yeah. For 5 months.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So that was a big go to Florida. May I go back to something you said before? This was very interesting to me. You said it said, and then it said it again, and then it said it again later. And I want to know for you, what is the it that was saying what it was saying? Oh my God. Can you identify that for us? What's the it?
Yeah. Because it seems so impersonal, right? On the one hand, it.
And I'm all about the intuition, the voice that's wise inside. That's my terminology. I'm just curious.
Yeah. For me, I'm a very sensory feeler. So it feels like on the one hand, it's an energy, an intelligence that maybe is as high as the ceiling, that's there all the time, that then sends me messages. It also can feel like it comes even further than that away.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm asking you this is because I really want to make a distinction on the show about the difference between our personality mind and getting messages, inspirations, guidance, intuition, a God spark moment. I really want to draw out the distinction that they're different. Yeah. And you could tell the difference. And I love that. And I want to lean into that a little bit. So I'm going to jump ahead and ask you a question right now, because we know each other and you transform a lot. You grow and change and blossom. You're like a wild rose garden. Who's Ashley today? I love that about you. So in this moment right now, sitting here in this now, I want to know 2 things. Who are you that I'm sitting with right now? And what's alive for you now? Who are you and what's alive for you?
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that about me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I feel actually the newest, the freshest, the most alive, the most coherent within my being, the most aligned. And I don't say that lightly because it's been decades. I just turned 60.
Yeah.
And it was as if a channel got turned on that I didn't even know was there or available. And so I just feel like the person I was meant to be.
More like you than you've ever been.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bringing in younger parts of me that were dormant, that were frozen, whatever you want to call that, right? Those feel more integrated in my being than they ever have.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like this stream of creativity is flowing through me.
Yeah.
Like the strongest it's ever had. So with that is newness.
Yes.
And I'm constantly, when I'm interacting and responding to people and just doing my life, there's also the witnessing part of me that's like, oh, look how you just did that. Look how you just, it's so much of it's new.
Yes. So moments like you hear yourself respond to someone, you hear what's coming out of your mouth, and your observer self is like, whoa, who just spoke? And you know it's you, yet you've never heard yourself articulate like that before, right? Moments like that. I love that. Now, so I have a suspicion here. You know that I'm all about the hero formula, right? So if I didn't know you and I were beholding you and listening to her, I'd be like, this woman's got it all together. She's totally alive. At 60, she's like got it going on. She doesn't have any challenges. That's what I'd be thinking, right? Like I see someone who's so together like yourself, and I would think, and I do think this is often a growth moment for me. Why would that person get anything out of the hero formula, right? I tend to think that way. Like, it's like, well, why would you get anything out of it? And yet I keep learning, and you're helping me learn this. I don't care how together someone appears on the outside and how together they feel on the inside. We're in the human embodiment, so we're constantly growing. So there's always a moment and an opportunity to go deeper, expand wider, and have greater insights. So I just set the stage because I want to dive in a little bit if you're willing to play with me. All right. So is there something in all of what you just said, is there something somewhere inside you and emerging something, maybe a challenge, something, maybe not necessarily a predicament, but a choice point or something?
Yeah, choice point, that got my attention.
Okay, great.
Because all of those, yes, you could apply.
Yeah.
Right? What's your edge? What's your predicament? What's your challenge? What's your issue? Choice point. Yes. Would you like to hear it?
I don't want to hear the choice. First, I want to check to see that there's something fresh that we could actually play with. Okay, so since you and I are pretty quick processors, let's ride the whole hero formula. Let's take it from top to bottom. Okay. Hold on to your face and your seat. Okay, so who are you? You just shared with us who you are freshly, but in the context of the hero formula, whose purpose is to drop you into the voice that's wise inside, that God spark voice of intuition, relative to a predicament or a challenge. So who are you at this time relative to, we'll use the word choice point for you. In this step, it's a predicament or a challenge. So who are you in relationship to that?
Yeah.
Step one.
Okay, great. Who am I? I am a 60-year-old creative woman coming out of 7 years of intense family transitions. And what that means is two of my sisters died within 3 days of each other.
Yeah.
Overnight, I became the caretaker for my 86-year-old mom. And then I also became the caretaker guide for my 19-year-old nephew. And so in these 7 years, without going into great story or detail, there's been, yes, lots of death, suicide, dealing with cancer, dealing with mental health disorder, caretaking. My mom lived with me for 4 years, which was extraordinary and excruciating.
Yes. Yeah.
And, incredible growth and learning on so many levels. And then also, right after COVID happened, where I was grieving because my mom passed the end of 2019, I hit an elk in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So I'm coming out of all of the emotional reconciliation of those things.
Those are huge. Any one of them by themselves could stop a person in their tracks for years. So you went through 7 years of these experiences, very dramatic and very intense, and then it got topped off with a car accident. And you are sitting here radiant and beautiful and on fire and ready to go and feeling more like you than you ever have. That is miraculous. So I just want to stop there and take that in and ask everyone else to take that in, because people are living in challenging times and we all handle things differently. So just that pause to acknowledge that. So who you are at the time relative to the hero formula is pretty rich.
Yes.
Right?
And so the one piece I would just add to that is, and so I sit here, yes, like energy is back, creativity is on.
Yeah.
And so, I'll end there because I know we're going to lead someplace else too.
Yeah. Okay. So that is, as you take stock of witnessing and observing who you are, that is a self-observation of who you are relative to the predicament. Now, in your case, we're going to use cross point or crossroad, choice point, right? So, choice point, that means you're facing something. So what is it that you're facing?
So it's, the creativity is on. And so it's, what do I take off with? Because I've been telling my friends for the last year and a half, I'm standing on the runway to my true life.
Yeah, I have chills.
And I know it's really close. I haven't taken flight yet, but it's close. And I have got 3 to 4 exciting ideas.
Yeah.
And it's not reasonable to take off with 4.
Yeah. So from a predicament perspective, from the hero formulas language, you're aware you have 4 very juicy paths and directions, and if you do all 4 at once, none of them are going to fly, because that's dispersing energy. So we now know who you are at this time as you are addressing the choice point, which I'll call the predicament, is having to make a choice. Okay, so let's go to step 3, which is asking the universe for help. Now, in our case, at the beginning, it was it that was talking to you, right? So we're going to actually do this live, right? So you can either articulate this out loud so we all hear you, or just go within and ask. What I invite you to do step 3, which is asking the universe for help to get clear.
So I'm going to ask for help first, because I can sometimes get caught up in not asking. It doesn't feel like it's specific and clear enough.
Okay.
Because so if I were to just go and ask, it would sound something like innate intelligence within. Please give me clear direction, signals, guidance on which idea I should go with first. shall it be supporting holistic health entrepreneurs with interviewing and videotaping them? Should it be my one-woman show? Should it be a documentary? Or should it be creating a course of the best practices that have helped me navigate and get through the unimaginable? That seems like too much.
Stay. Go back. Stay in. Brilliant. I'm just gonna leave you there for a moment and talk directly to the audience. That was brilliant. And Ashley, I really want you to pay attention to yourself. Stay inside right now. She had the perception, her mind was jumping in saying, oh, it's too much, I can't ask for that. And she was using the word should, which always indicates the mind is in the space. It's a great word. And she's asking the universe for direction. It's like, I have these 4 different directions to go, and I don't know what to do first. What should I do first? And I want to point that out because that's going to get addressed in her guidance. I don't know how. I just know that intuition is a powerful thing. So Ashley, while you're in there, I just want you to totally let go. Completely let go. Feel your feet, breathe, feel your heart, and just like a flower in the morning, just open to receiving whatever wants to come. Be curious and open, no judgment, no anticipation. You're just a receiving unit right now. Step 4, what does your guidance offer to you? And just sit with it. Again, if you want to hold it to yourself and then tell us, fine. If you want to say it as it's coming, that's fine. Wide open curiosity.
What's being said is what makes you happy. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, they all make me happy.
Okay, so stay in there. Do you mind if I jump in a little bit?
Go, jump.
Yeah, okay. So what makes you happy? Let go of your mind, come down to your body a little more. And scenario number 1, I don't remember the order in which you said them, but pick one. Put yourself in the living of it. Imagine yourself living it. And name it to me so we know what you're working with.
Supporting holistic health entrepreneurs.
Okay, I just want you to feel yourself in the movie, supporting holistic health with entrepreneurs. Let that set in your body. Feel that. And feel the happiness that gives you. And on a scale of 1 to 10, straight from your body, not your mind, let your body answer. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being still happy, but not the ultimate to begin with. Where does it land? Let your body tell you. And say it out loud.
8.
8. Okay, great. Deep breath, drop it. Bring in the next scenario and tell us what it is.
One-woman show.
One-woman show. Drop everything, totally open into that. Imagine yourself in your one-woman show. You're in it, you're wearing it, you're feeling the happiness that gives you. And it's relative to stepping out, which path of focus to step out with first. Feel that happiness. Imagine yourself in it.
I feel like I'm at a game show.
I know, door number 1. So really let your body, you can access your heart or your belly, really let your body deliver the answer.
That's a 9.
That's a 9. Beautiful. Look how you're cruising through. We only have 2 more. Okay, drop the energy. Come back to spaciousness and open curiosity. You're just like wide open, wondering. What's the next one?
Documentary.
Okay, documentary. Imagine yourself in that. You're in the documentary. You're wearing it. You're in it. You're living it. Feel the happiness that that gives you. And then dropping deep down into your navel. Where is that on 1 to 10?
Oh, man. Oh, it's a 10.
That's a 10. Okay, just keep letting go. So take a deep breath and let go. So part of the process Ashley's in right now is having to detach from the results, because the mind likes to jump in and be like, oh, what does this mean? It's like, you just got to totally let go and surrender. Okay, the last one is what?
A course.
A course. Okay. So open curiosity, feeling yourself, creating the course, delivering the course. People are signing up for the course. The happiness that that brings you, checking in with your body. So now just take a pause and a moment to acknowledge and thank your body and yourself and this intuition, this voice that's wise inside, for helping you navigate. So you received your guidance, right? And now the personality gets to come back in. So go ahead and open your eyes and lay it on us. So receiving your guidance, the next step is choices.
Okay.
So first, before you give a lot of opinions, if you have them, we have 4, 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
And you remember which landed where?
It went 8, 9, 10, 4.
Yeah. So 10 is your one-woman show.
Oh.
9 was?
I thought 10 was the documentary.
No. I don't think so. We'll go back and check. Yeah. So what do you remember?
2 60-year-olds. I thought it was this.
I know that the last one, the course is 4.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Okay, so what do you want to know?
We took them in order.
Yeah.
So what was the first one you put out?
Supporting holistic health entrepreneurs and crafting their story and
That was
interviewing.
an 8.
That was an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your next one was?
This is a test in memory. Was a 9.
Yeah.
And that was my one-woman show.
And 10 was the documentary.
Yes.
And you reacted to that. Yeah, you had it on your face. Okay. So now you received guidance from your intuition and your body. Now the next step is choices.
Right.
So this is where we feel in our human heart, in our personalities, this is what my guidance offered for my consideration. Guidance is never law. I can't say that enough. It's an offering from our intuition. And then we get to choose. So what's happening for you right
Negotiations.
now? Yeah, negotiations.
Inner negotiations.
Yeah, so just talk us through it.
So my first response or reaction was, yes, I get excited about working with others, and it's a very dynamic environment.
Yeah.
So that's really gets me excited. One woman show, yes, of course, because that's part of me sharing my gifts.
Yes.
The documentary, because I just was having this incredible conversation about that yesterday, and I'm seeing where that can go.
Yeah.
And so that's exciting, but it's edgy, and literally I could feel my whole energy field go out. Big.
Huge. Yeah, great. Awesome.
And then the course, you know what, the fact of the matter is I can put that course together very quickly, and there's time for that.
Yeah.
It's not as creative and enlivening as the other.
Okay, so I'm going to speed us along a little bit. So what you just said is profound. It's edgy.
Yeah.
And I know when I take people through the hero formula, what is the most edgy is the most alive and where the growth is. We still get to choose whether to do that or not. So here's what I'm going to suggest. Instead of you making the choice is not about between those. The choice is, do you like your guidance and do you want to follow what your guidance has offered?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So then the next step is your action. So how are you going to follow up between 8, 9, and 10, which are the highest ones, 10 being the brightest, which is the documentary? What action do you choose to take in following those? I'm going to say those 3 headers.
Right. And it feels like I have to really start making real steps towards creating this documentary.
Yeah.
Definitely. The show, I'm working on it because it's such a process. Mm-hmm. So that I can be giving a little bit of time to be feeding that part, to name a date, probably in the fall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I can see some momentum there. Mm-hmm. And then with supporting holistic health entrepreneurs, maybe I give a little bit more juice initially to the documentary, but then I can also pretty easily bring that piece in. Mm-hmm.
What I'm hearing you describe is time management. For different projects. Like this gets this percent, this gets that. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So now results. We have inner results and outer results. And I would say the outer results will show itself in time. Sometimes they're immediate. In your case, I think they're going to show themselves. So what are the inner results for you sitting here right now, having gone through that?
I feel like running out the door.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Like, I gotta start. Okay. Like, and there's I don't know, my heart is much more open.
Yeah.
And because I feel like I've got real, like my answers, my wisdom, my plan, my path.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Yes.
To give it perspective and a shape. Mm-hmm. And I love, the more linear term you threw out of just, you can do all of it, Ashley. It's just time management.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which I might ask for some, outside coaching for that, but just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because as I'm sitting at my desk and I'm asking myself questions, most of the time, answers are coming.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a little tip and then we have to wrap it up. How I handle that is I wake up in the morning and I do the hero formula. What is my focus today? Time management in the moment with spirit. What is my focus for the next 2 hours?
Thank you.
Let it be alive. Let it be a breathing, engaged relationship. And it could be you're in the middle of a project and you hear switch gears to that one and you're like, go, I'm there.
And a lot of my days can roll like that.
Yes.
But I like bringing this in.
Yes. And having that happen consciously.
Yes, exactly.
Really helps you contain your energy and be nourished and fed. As I spoke with my last guest, Aja, lets you rest in a state of being so the doing doesn't take you out of your body.
Yes.
So you're constantly nourished.
Well, this makes a ton of sense to me now because I've watched you plan and prep for this. Yeah. And often I have gone, I don't know how she's doing all of it, and not completely like going, like having days of on your back exhaustion.
Yeah.
That's this is it. I got the key now.
We got the God spark. It's for me, the terminology is the God spark. It's not a religious thing. It's just since I was a little girl, the voice that's wise inside, the intuition, the it near the ceiling, as you said, for me is the God spark. And I feel continuously nourished and held and safe living my life from that place.
I can't believe you just said that. I was just going to share as like maybe my closing comment. I feel nourished from sitting here with you and then having this experience. I feel nourished.
Yes. Yay. Thank you. Thanks for being with me here and being vulnerable with everyone. Yeah, it's really cool. So we're needing to wrap up. I just want to say thank you to Ashley for being here with us today. And we want to give another thank you to New Thought Media Network for allowing us the privilege of airing on their platform. And if you're interested in getting in touch with your intuition so you can live with greater confidence from inside, you can check out my website at daneashantithrive.live, where you will find lots of free goodies and my new book, Wise Inside. And We'll see you next time.